Okay, good afternoon. Let's try to inform you a little bit about what you should do before you start the procedure to create a Romanian company. Well, it has been 2 years that I made a presentation on this. So, okay, for the rest of 2025, but especially for 2026, I am now informing you so that you should know what to do. Okay, let's move on. Um, Before you start, you need to choose a company type. First type is the Serrelais. It's our BV. And Serrelais basically of 95% of the companies in Romania. Business owners, they love them because they blend simplicity, protection, and flexibility perfectly. I'm speaking from experience. My liability only extends to what I put in. So this keeps my personal assets safe from company debts if it goes wrong. The serverless structure works great for 1 to 50, so you can be alone 100% to 50 shareholders. Well, shareholders is not exactly the right word. It should be owners of social parts, because shareholders is a term that they use for SA, and we are speaking, let's say, shares about capital social and part social, so parts of this social capital. What's in the name? Very important is that Romanian government also thinks of changing the 200 that became one around social capital, what is nothing, to 8,000. So in January we'll know more. Most probably all CRLs in Romania will have to do an exercise if they did not reach 8,000 RON to reach, or whatever amount or thresholds that will be in the new legislation. But it's coming. Running a CRL is straightforward. You have one or more directors, doesn't matter. Doesn't need to live in Romania, doesn't need to be Romanian. And this lets foreign entrepreneurs to stay in control without moving to Romania. And as I already said, a single person can hold 100% of the social parts of the CRL. Then the second type is for bigger companies. It's the SA, which is a more complex structure. It's also some 90k, so 18,000 euro to start. 2 or more shareholders, 3 administrators, where one is the president of the board, auditors, and the SA can be managed in 2 ways: through unitary system with a board and directors, or a dual system with supervision and directorship. But it's a more complex form, but it gives you the setup that you need for big operations and public trading. Then not so much used, but it's there, and some people prefer this above something else, is the branch of subsidiary. So foreign companies coming to Romania can choose between or a branch or a subsidiary. The main difference is that the subsidiary is a separate, distinct legal entity in Romania, while a branch is an extension of the foreign parent company with no separate legal personality. A branch works as part of your main company without its own legal identity. It can only do similar work to the parent company. Very important. And the parent company takes on all branches' responsibilities. This option makes accounting easier, keeps management simple, and helps you enter the market fast. On the other hand, the subsidiary stands on its own legally. It's usually a CRL or an SA where the parent company owns 51% or more. Many times we start with the private person and then we enter the company, because it's always better to boot it up and to start it up with a simple structure, not a lot of questions raised, start to work a little bit, and then make it like 70% with your home company or whatever company that you want outside of Romania. So, what's the next step? Well, yeah, the incorporation. Incorporation gives you type of company, a legal entity where you can do your thing. The person or the entity that is going to do that is the Romanian trade registry that will give you a birth certificate once you're registered. And then you can sign contracts, hire people, buy property, whatever. But there are more steps than just getting the certificate. Duration is about 3 to 10 days after submitting if it's complete, and we are very proud to have ISO because we don't like rework. So if we file, 100% should pass from the first trial. And I personally, I'm very proud. I don't have that in Belgium. I'm very proud of my color certificate, and it's proudly on the wall and very visible. And actually, the legislation says that you should put it on the wall. The only difference is in Romania it's a copy and the original is here in my Belgian office at the wall. But okay, what's the difference? So step 2 is reserve your name. You need to have some activity code. Well, there you need to take the code from the new kind codes, because if not, they will not register. It's also important to say that if you have an existing company, you cannot modify anything until you comply with the kind revision 3. So bear it in mind. Step 2, then another part here is the reservation of the name. It's changed from 3 months validity to 1 month, which I don't like, because if there's something that does not allow or there has to be changed, can give a problem. So once you start, you should proceed. It is a little bit of an occult science, and yet not. It should be different from other names, up to 70%. So it's good to have 2 words, and it's good to have a set of names that you can that you give to us to register. Important is that this is the first step, the most important step, because we need in this name the acceptance of the register and the number of this decision that they accept the name to make the rest of the paperwork. And until the company is created, you don't travel with us. So you just stand on the sideline, and in particular, when we make the reservation on our name, then when we do the procedure full in front of the register, we will transfer that name to you, so that you become the owner, and that then this name is used to make your company. So then we go further in step 2, a little bit more in detail on reservation of company names. I'm going to go fast, but like accent aigu, no, it's A and that's it, and not special signs like umlaut and whatever. It doesn't is not okay. Ampersand, like having the hashtag sign, percentage sign, no. There's some things that you can read here to avoid, but basically also English is accepted, and if you combine 2 or 3 words and you make a set of 5, and you test a little bit up front, or we test for you a little bit up front, then the name will pass. Before the good days, now you file and then you will learn later if it's accepted or not. I did it all myself. I had no employees, so I go to Michaela, was the name of the girl. I said, "Hi Michaela, how are you today?" "Ah, Mr. Freddy, yeah." I said, "I have another company." "Okay, let's have a look. What do you have in mind for the client?" And then she look, second one, and then okay, third one was okay, and then we take the third one, we file, and the next day, in 12 hours, maximum 24 hours, you have the reservation and you can start with everything. But we do it all for you. So you basically don't have to worry, just inspire us a little bit with some names and be flexible. Move on to step 3. Okay, you need an office. So the office can be physical, virtual, but you can also be at a notary. Um, we we don't like the procedure that you are at a notary. Not we are against. With a lawyer. We don't like that to host with a lawyer. It's not because we have business centers, but this is not a solution. You start, and from the start you should have your place, your address, because if not, after 1 year you have to redo all documents, including the acta, and this is not the way to start. When you start, take an address, and it will be much better for you. We can also offer the address in our business and incubation centers. Uh, since 2009 I started this. What is the difference before and after 2009? Before 2009, if you take 10 in 5 years, only 3 or 4 were still alive. If we now take 10, it's only 1 that disappears out of 10 because he wants to stop. The business is not well in Belgium or in Holland, or he wants to stop because he's too old or whatever reason, or he make the bankruptcy in Romania. But the rate of dropout, it's more than a 180-degree turn. We are there as a starting point. We are there to help you. We are there to develop your company. We are there to help you with mounting up the operations. Yeah, it is our mission to improve startup success. So you are more than welcome in our 2 business and incubation centers. More details on the step 3, emphasizing some special rules on apartments. Before 2020 July 5, you needed permission from neighbor left, right, up and down, and the president of the association of owners to have the company there. Now, from 2020 on, and we are very happy with this, you can still do it in an apartment, but then you don't need to have, you cannot have activities. You need to declare that you don't have activities. And then you don't need this, the signature of the neighbor left, right, up and down. In my case, I had an apartment and I wanted to put there a working point of my own company in Romania, and 2 neighbors we didn't find. So yeah, this was not exactly good news. But then okay, finally my driver, he managed to find the 2 ladies and they signed, and I could go to the president. But then I said okay. It's good that I have this, but it's not so good for my clients. But okay, legislation it's changed, but you cannot have activities. So it's good for somebody that's not there and that is doing some IT work in Belgium. But for the rest, the new law didn't help us a lot. Let's move to step 4, drafting the Acta Constitutiva, bylaws, the articles of incorporation. Well. There's a template for it. It's a framework that you should use because not everything you can leave out of this framework. Important is that now the beneficiar real is no longer a declaration, but that it's written into the acta, and it's this acta that saves you 1 extra page again of one extra declaration. It's also important to know that if the acta is not translated, that should be signed by a translator if it's only in Romanian. We make also a lot of things bilingual, so in English and Romanian, and also there signed by a translator. Because if not, the register will refuse to register it in most of the cases. Maybe sometimes they don't pay attention, but normally they are quite awake, and you will get an almanat is called. It will postpone. You will have to bring, and this is quite difficult when you are outside in another country, the correct version. So pay attention to this. It is not unimportant. You can in the acta put more directors, administrators. You can give them equal powers. You can make them sign separately. You can give one full powers, the other one 30% of the powers. So even though it's a framework, there are a lot of degrees of freedom to customize it to what you really want. And this is what we do. We have a discussion, more than one discussion even, and then we draft it upon your wish so that you can sign almost blind. Step 4, about this document set is also some declarations. Now the specimen they take from the acta, it's no longer a separate declaration. The fact that you sign your acta is your signature. Before it was a separate one. We have tax declarations, no debt in Belgium and Romania. We have the UBO declaration, and UBO declaration we made progress. It's now written in the acta, so we don't need an extra document for this. You can have the declaration of the residential, a mandate for incorporation, mandates for the accountant, document set and mandate for VAT application, the NIF doc set, the e-invoicing procedure, electronic signature doc set and a mandate to obtain, etc., etc. This is not limitative because in complex cases it can be quite complex. Having documents in Romania and from outside of Romania with apostille and so on, from different authorities like panel sheet on a company from Belgium and things like that. But basically these things are a little bit linked to the structure that the client imposes on it. Then, how do you register? Well, very simple. You go yourself, or you have given a mandate to us to do it. Then it's reviewed by a verificator, so somebody from the register. And if it's okay, you don't have any rework, you get your unique certificate. Also, the unique company identifier changed, the G number changed. They have now something that they put that is quite new, it's a new format. And because everybody has to do a mandatory exercise for the KN, at the same time also they update them the G number. You get your certificate, it's a real diploma, so certificate of birth I call it. And normally it's within 15 days. We register companies since 2003, and with our ISO 9001, I'm very proud, we have reduced the rework to 0. Basically we excel, because working with the register is practice, is doing a lot, and then also working together, but then you become really good at it. And I can say that my employees are very well trained. So step 5, this post-incorporation essentials. Once your company is there, it is not finished. The good news is that until then you did not travel, so now you are going to travel. And we will assist you to open the bank account, to register for VAT after you left and do some things at the notary. Idem dito for the NIF, the national in registration number, which is mandatory because if not, you will not have your e-signature. We will propose you an accountant. You have to hire somebody for the revisal. Revisal is the electronic labor book, bookkeeping for employees. Before it was a little booklet per person. That was treated manually by the ITME in big boxes, so you have to bring the contract, they write, they stamp in your book, and then you get back that it's done, and so on. Now it's electronically. Big improvement. We will register you with ANAF, where you will have your SPV. This is your Spazio Privat Virtual in English, your personal private space in the cloud of ANAF. We will link that then to your invoicing program after we obtain your e-signature, which is not a user-friendly, foreign-friendly procedure. If you have to do that as a foreigner on your own, you will basically not succeed. It's complicated, they say, a little bit complex, but we help you with that, etc., etc. So some of the things are done on site with you present after company creation. Other things are done then behind when you're gone behind after the second trip, and this then is off-site, is even remote, and so on. So, voila, it was a little bit refresh, a new presentation. I hope that you liked it. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, please call me, mail me, and think about registering to this YouTube channel. You find the data here on the last slide. Voila, see you in the next one, and thank you very much for listening.